Well, thank you, everybody. The idea that we've been trying to pursue for years now is the research and the kind of deep dive on what you are all doing to develop technologies that enhance maritime domain awareness, the public-private partnerships that we need to respond to challenges in the Arctic, and to make sure that the rest of the country is aware of the geopolitics, commerce, uh, energy issues that are all front and center in our neck of the woods, which is America's Arctic. So I think the great work that you guys are doing is very, very commendable. And it's been part of our broader strategy when we set up the Ted Stevens Arctic Center for the Department of Defense. That's just across town at JBER. I know that you guys are collaborating on these issues together. So we're starting, in my view, Alaska, Anchorage, Fairbanks, we are becoming really the center of gravity for Arctic research, Arctic domain awareness, the ability to convene experts, whether at UAA or at the Ted Stevens Center, on Arctic issues. And so that's what we've been trying to do. And I will say I was a little, frustrated when I heard about the potential cutting off of the funding for all of you. So this was something that was a high priority of mine. The secretary, I think, really gets this. I've weighed in with her a couple times. And then when we heard that there was actually a letter saying the funding's getting cut, I reached out directly to the Secretary of Homeland Security, had a good discussion with her. And Governor Parnell was certainly strongly reaching out to me, and had a good discussion with her. And she saw the wisdom in what we're trying to do and reverse those cuts. And I think that was really, really important. So my kudos to the Secretary of DHS. It was actually great having her out recently. One of the first trips that she took, and it was something I encouraged when she was going through her confirmation process, was to get up to Alaska, to go on Kodiak, our biggest Coast Guard base in the country. And she was actually testifying in front of the Appropriations Committee today. I saw a little bit of Senator Murkowski's questioning of her on the Coast Guard, on Alaska. But look, we think having Alaska as the hub, the center of gravity on Arctic research that you guys represent, that the Ted Stevens Center, which is more operational in terms of the research they're doing, is absolutely critical. And I'm glad that we're all working together as partners. You may have seen the president recently, just last month, signed his Restoring America's Maritime Domain executive order. He's also had an executive order with regard to shipbuilding. And one of the things in that executive order that he highlights is addressing the security and American leadership in securing our, quote, Arctic waterways. Well, that's us. That's you. That's all of us. And so we are working closely with the White House, with Homeland Security, with the Department of Defense on all of these issues to make sure they recognize, and I think they do, that we are an Arctic nation because of Alaska, and we need to have a stronger presence, stronger research orientation, stronger Homeland Security orientation on what's going on in the Arctic, on the waters, in the airs. So I'm going to continue to be a strong advocate of funding for all of you, to connect you guys and your research much more directly to policy makers and the agencies that shape our Arctic policy. One issue that you may have seen that we're working on right now, it's more in the DoD lane, is reopening the base at ADAC, right? That is the gateway to the Arctic. That is an enormously strategic naval base that we shut, unfortunately, during the 1990s. And it's on the flank of Russia and China and can provide infrastructure. So when these countries, when their militaries are moving into our airspace, moving into our EEZ, we have the ability to launch ships and launch planes way out, even off behind them. That's called flanking maneuver in our military parlance. So thank you again. There's so much going on in this area, and I am proud to work with all of you. I'm proud that you guys are doing well, and trust me, we're going to continue to keep a really close eye on everything. I think everything's good to go with the Secretary and Homeland Security in terms of the funding, but I want to thank you and the governor, or Chancellor Parnell, and everybody for reaching out when you heard there were some challenges. And my team and I, we jumped on that immediately. And, you know, within about an hour, to the Secretary's credit, she got back to me and said, hey, Dan, we're not going to do that. You're right. This is really important for our Arctic and Homeland Security, and the ADAC-ARCTIC Center of Excellence is going to continue to do what they're doing. So keep it up. Thanks very much, and appreciate being invited to say a few words at this conference.